We have here verse 16 of the 14th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus has just said to his disciples as part of the upper room discussion that if they love Jesus, that they will obey his commandments, which seems plain enough. But it might have seemed a bit of a daunting task for them to obey the commandments of Christ, and so he adds now this remarkable and very well-known statement, of course, that gives great encouragement to God's people. So we have a kago. This is actually a contraction of the two words kai ego, commonly used in the New Testament and in the ancient world. So and I would be the idea of it. Eroteso, from erotao, means I will ask or I will request. This is the first person singular future active indicative, the simple future here. So I and I will ask. He's going to ask ton patera, the father, the accusative singular masculine article with pater, in the accusative here, patera. I will ask the father. Kai, the connective. Alon. Alon means another. It's distinguished from another word in the Greek language that means another, heteron, or heteros, which means another, but usually of a different kind, whereas alon distinctively means another of the same species, another of the same category, which of course is quite significant in this context. I will give you another, parakleton. The word parakletos means one who is called in, kletos, to call, para, alongside, one who's called in alongside. It was a word that was commonly used in the ancient world to refer to an advocate, a lawyer, and particularly an advocate or lawyer that had some kind of family connection. So it wasn't the standard word for a lawyer, but rather one that was in a special kind of connection to the family, who would come in to help out even if a person wasn't able to pay the fee, that sort of thing. A family lawyer, you might say, who's bound more by family connections than by simply a retainer, something like that. So Jesus, of course, in calling this one alone parakleton, is indicating that that's the role that he's played. He has, in effect, been their advocate. He's been the one that they could always call in when they were in a jam, and we see many examples of that, of course, in the gospel accounts. They were probably feeling a little bit at loose ends to know that Jesus was going to leave them now, but what he says is he's going to supply to them another of the same kind, another advocate, you might say, another parakletos who will stand in for them and actually have the effect of speaking for them, as we'll see in a moment. Way back in the early history of the church, Chrysostom and others incorporated the word comforter here, and that became somewhat commonly used. And of course, in the Old King James it was used. I will give you another comforter. That's really not the sense of the word. A lawyer can bring comfort to a client, but of course it's one of those points where really it's helpful to get a little closer to the actual sense of the word. It's another lawyer. That would be the simple sense of it. Dose, from didomi, I give. This is the third person singular, future active indicative. So another comforter he will give, humen, to you. Second person, dative, plural, pronoun. So I'm going to ask the Father, and he's going to give to you another comforter of the same kind that I've been. Hina takes the subjunctive in order that, meth, from meta. This is the word for with, when it has the genitive is here. So, and with humon, the second person plural genitive pronoun. So in order that with you, ace preposition takes the accusative, ton iona, into the age. And of course that's idiomatic for forever, it's commonly translated. And so with you forever, from ami, I am. This is the third person singular, present active subjunctive. The hina, of course, takes the subjunctive, and sort of that in order that he may be with you into the age or forever. So Jesus, of course, giving the disciples here a little bit of encouragement as they're facing the prospect of having Jesus depart. Learn now that they're going to have another who is going to join them and pick up the role that Jesus has played. Jesus himself, we're going to learn in 1 John, becomes a parakletos in heaven. So in a sense, we have an attorney in heaven and an attorney on earth in the form of the second and third persons of the Trinity. an interesting theology in the New Testament, but we'll leave this at this point for now.